Hi, my name is Quentin or Q, and I decided to do my presentation on Paul Nicklin. So Paul Nicklin was born on July 21st, 1968 in Tisdale, Canada, and he is very well known for a wildlife photographer, and he specializes in the polar regions of the world. So this is an example of one of his pieces, which is called Dawn Patrol. It's part of his gallery that's on his website. He has like a huge amount of work on there, which I really recommend to check out. All right, so he was born in Canada. He spent most of his childhood in Baffin Island in the Inuit community, and then he went off to college at the University of Victoria in British Columbia. This was in 1990, and then after graduating, he returned to the Northwest Territories. Here, he decided to specialize in as a photographer for the polar regions, and this was in 1995. And his images captured the beauty of creatures that lived in those areas. So it really highlighted animals that you normally wouldn't see or even know about. So he was able to capture these and basically show the beauty of them to people. He's also a co-founder of the Sea Legacy, which is a nonprofit that uses visual storytelling to protect and rewild the oceans. So whether it be pictures, videos, documentaries, any of these things to really just spread awareness and basically stop people from hunting the animals from those areas. And this is an example, Golden Bond from another one of his galleries and in his on his website. So Paul Nicklin is known for his polar wildlife photography, which highlights the beauties and the threats that live in these areas. So here's some examples. He does a lot of like black and white and color. So here's one of them. It really highlights like the sea leopard, how it's about to hunt these penguins. So he's really just all natural, like trying to capture nature in its truest form. And then here it has like two different tones where like on the left side's more of a warm yellowish tone, and then a majority of the right side's like a cooler blue tone. Um, like I said before, really captures moments that you never really would see. So really good color. I feel like it's a good clash of the two. And then here's I believe which are narwhals. Also black and white, really cool. A lot of lines, so it looks like a lot of like symmetry there. And then the polar bear with its cubs really blends in with all the other white, while the background kind of makes the polar bears pop out more. So I really like that. And here you can see a lot of vivid details, like the reflection of the penguins, kind of jumping in and swimming. So on the top, you get to see like the reflection of it, and then on the bottom, you see like the actual penguins. And here's a really nice contrast with really nice shadowing. The light lantern on the right side really brings out and pops out the shadows. And then that huge polar bear that's kind of like popping in is like the main center. So you get a majority of the action kind of going from the majority action is on the right side of the picture. Here is this very simple but very detailed pictures of penguins together with their chick. And so Paul Nicklin did a lot of polar region stuff, but he wasn't solely specified there. That was just his what he was well known for. He also does other ecosystems. So last year he actually went to Kenya, or this year, sorry, in 2025 he went to Kenya this year, and he was able to capture pictures of animals in this ecosystem. So I think it's awesome that he's able to take pictures of these like very dangerous or like very strong animals and capture the amount of details in them in their natural form. And like here, like the amazing amount of details of him being able to get that elephant kind of kicking up the dirt. And so it's like completely covering its feet, barely like a bit of his trunk. So I feel like the detail on here is amazing. And here's some of his books. So in 2018, he did Born to Ice. In 2009, he did Polar Obsession, and in 2013, he did Bear Spirit of the Wild. So here's one of my favorite quotes from him. He said, "The penguin doesn't know it's cute, and the leopard seal doesn't know it's kind of big and monstrous. This is just the food chain unfolding." So what I really like about this is basically it seems like he's saying like these pictures I take and I'm showing you guys, you either think like the penguin's cute or like these animals are dangerous. Like we have some type of opinion, but the animals in the pictures, they're not thinking any of these things. They're just trying to survive, survival of the fittest. So I think it just really highlights how basically crazy nature is in a sense that these animals are either fighting for their lives or just trying to survive. But it looks like art to us. So I think that's an amazing concept that only like these wildlife photographers are able to portray. And then on the left side is Hidden Paths, a picture from another one of his galleries on his website. And then on the right side is a portrait of him by Ben Moon in 2017. And that is basically that's all for my presentation. I'll also have links on the bottom to more of his work. I really recommend checking them out because like exporting them onto the present on Google Slide kind of like distorted them a bit. But if you go on his website, you're able to see all the amazing details in his pictures, and you're able to see a lot of animals you normally wouldn't get to see up and close. Even at like a zoo, these pictures basically get the animals in their truest form, and it's just really amazing. Highly recommend. And that is it. Thank you for watching.